Have you ever wondered if there are thousands of alien empires in our Milky Way galaxy, each spanning dozens of star systems, talking, negotiating, sometimes warring, or simply ignoring each other? But if that's true, why hasn't anyone visited us yet? Despite the vastness of the Milky Way, traveling at even a fraction of the speed of light would allow a civilization to dominate the galaxy in just 1,000,000 years. So, why haven't we seen anyone yet? The Milky Way is immense, home to billions of stars and countless planets. Even if a civilization could travel at 10% of the speed of light, it would take just 1,000,000 years to spread across the entire galaxy. Yet, we haven't encountered any signs of these civilizations. Does this mean we are alone in the vastness of space, or is there another explanation? Scientists often speculate about the existence of alien civilizations, assuming that as technology advances, space colonization will become easy and inevitable. The idea is that advanced civilizations should be able to conquer and inhabit star systems, spreading their influence far and wide. But what if this assumption is flawed? What if, despite all their technological prowess, the challenges of space travel and colonization are far greater than we can imagine? Consider this. Navigating through space might be as daunting as the ancient Polynesians navigating the vast Pacific Ocean. Just as they set out on perilous journeys to find new islands, alien civilizations might be embarking on similarly treacherous voyages through the cosmos. The distances are vast, the resources are limited, and the dangers are numerous. Perhaps the universe is teeming with life, but reaching out to other star systems is an arduous and slow process. Could it be that we haven't seen any signs of these civilizations because they are still on their way, slowly making their way through the stars, just as ancient explorers once did on our own planet? Or perhaps they face obstacles and challenges that we can't even begin to comprehend, making interstellar travel a monumental task even for the most advanced beings. When we look at our own history, we find an intriguing parallel in the ancient Polynesians who ventured across the Pacific Ocean. Thousands of years ago, these intrepid explorers set sail in simple canoes, navigating by the stars and the ocean currents. They faced the daunting challenge of finding habitable islands scattered across a vast and often hostile sea. Imagine the Milky Way as an enormous ocean, with planets as islands. Just as many Pacific islands were uninhabitable, many planets are barren and inhospitable. The Polynesians encountered tiny atolls, rocky outcrops, and islands with limited resources. Similarly, alien civilizations might find most planets to be barren rocks, covered in lava, or with atmospheres filled with toxic gases. The Polynesians had to be incredibly resourceful, and their journeys were slow and perilous. They spread their culture and society across hundreds of islands, despite the vast distances between them. Some islands became thriving hubs of activity, while others remained isolated and sparsely populated. This gradual, arduous process mirrors what might be happening on a galactic scale. Consider the Pitcairn Islands, one of the most isolated groups in the Pacific. The inhabitants relied heavily on trade with distant islands, and when these connections failed, their society collapsed. Could the same be true for alien civilizations? Perhaps they are spread thin across the galaxy, struggling to maintain contact and support with one another. Moreover, just as the Polynesians discovered islands with varying degrees of habitability, alien explorers might find planets that are barely livable. Mars and Venus, for instance, are close to Earth but pose significant challenges for colonization. Mars has poisonous sand and deadly radiation, while Venus has crushing pressure and corrosive acid. These obstacles make the colonization of such planets a formidable task, even for advanced civilizations. Let's delve deeper into the challenges of space colonization. The comparison with Polynesian navigation shows us that even if a civilization can overcome the hurdles of interstellar travel, they still face the immense difficulty of finding and settling on hospitable planets. Most of the potentially habitable planets, like islands in the Pacific, are not ideal homes. They are often hostile environments with extreme conditions that make sustained colonization a Herculean task. Imagine if Earth is like the Pitcairn Islands, so remote and isolated that even if other civilizations exist, they simply haven't found us yet or consider us too far to bother with. The Pitcairn Islands civilization disappeared due to isolation and resource depletion. Similarly, alien civilizations could be spread out so thinly that maintaining connections and resources is unsustainable. Now, let's entertain the idea that there are regions in the Milky Way teeming with habitable planets, where advanced civilizations thrive. These civilizations could create interconnected empires, negotiating, trading, and sometimes even warring, much like the Polynesians did on their islands. However, such regions would likely be few and far between, separated by vast expanses of uninhabitable space. The nature of space itself presents another challenge. Each star system moves in its own orbit, creating a dynamic and ever-changing cosmic landscape. This constant motion might mean that habitable planets are even more spread out than we think, making the establishment of large, connected empires extremely difficult. Furthermore, civilizations might face existential risks that we can only imagine. Technological, cultural, and environmental challenges could threaten their survival. Smaller colonies on new planets would be particularly vulnerable, much like isolated island communities on Earth. These colonies could easily fail, leaving planets abandoned and civilizations forgotten, only to be rediscovered and recolonized by future explorers. In this vast and ever-changing ocean of space, the idea of enormously large and connected empires may simply not be viable. Instead, we might see a galaxy where civilizations rise and fall, islands of life separated by vast cosmic distances, each struggling with their own unique challenges and risks. Let's imagine the implications of our galaxy being a vast ocean with scattered islands of life. If this analogy holds, then we might find that civilizations, like the ancient Polynesians, expand slowly, settling on the few habitable worlds they encounter. But as they spread out, the distances between these worlds create significant challenges. Communication and travel become more difficult, making it hard to maintain a cohesive empire. In such a scenario, the galaxy could be dotted with isolated civilizations, each developing independently with little to no contact with others. Over time, these civilizations might diverge culturally, technologically, and even biologically. Just as species on isolated islands evolve separately, alien civilizations could develop unique characteristics based on their distinct environments. The sheer distance and isolation would make interstellar war or cooperation less likely. The energy and resources required to travel between star systems would be immense, and the risks involved would be high. Any interaction between civilizations would need to be driven by incredibly compelling reasons, far beyond the motivations that drive human conflicts on Earth. Moreover, the concept of genetic drift suggests that isolated populations would evolve in different directions. Over millennia, this could lead to significant differences between civilizations, making them as distinct from one another as different species. This diversity could be both a strength and a weakness, fostering a rich variety of cultures, but also making mutual understanding and cooperation more difficult. As we consider these possibilities, it becomes clear that the vast distances and isolation in the galaxy could explain why we haven't detected signs of other civilizations. It's not that they don't exist, but rather that they are so spread out and isolated that contact is incredibly rare. This perspective shifts our understanding of the Fermi paradox, the question of why we haven't found evidence of extraterrestrial life. Perhaps the answer lies in the nature of space itself, where the immense distances and harsh conditions create insurmountable barriers to widespread colonization and contact. So, what does this mean for us here on Earth? It suggests that while the galaxy might be teeming with life, we are like an isolated island in a vast ocean. Our nearest neighbors could be light years away, facing the same challenges of survival and expansion that we do. This realization highlights the preciousness of our own planet and the importance of caring for it. As we continue to explore space, we may one day find evidence of other civilizations, but it will require patience, perseverance, and perhaps a bit of luck. For now, all we can do is continue to search, imagine, and prepare for the day when we might make contact with another island of life in the vast cosmic ocean. If this exploration of potential alien empires in our galaxy intrigued you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Join the conversation and leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is out there in the vastness of space? Let's continue this journey together as we uncover the mysteries of the cosmos.